everyone, welcome to Hope for Survival YouTube. Welcome to all the new subscribers. Thanks for following along. And this is Hurricane Helene update 6 from Elk Mills-Poga, Carter County, Tennessee. And wanted to give you an update on some different things you'll see in the videos. A little more out in the area and some of the devastation that has occurred. Appreciate you tuning in and following along, and more so appreciate all your prayers and support with resources and monetary. So a couple things I wanted to talk about before I get into the actual videos is let that four-wheeler clear. One is we don't need any further resources other than propane tanks filled, the little green ones, and the larger tanks and heaters. As fast as we put them out, they're out the door and headed to the hills. So thanks for everyone who's bringing them in. They're much needed. It's cold at night. We've had one frost, and there's folks still without electricity. Some of them are still sleeping in homes that got flooded. Mold is setting in, and on and on and on. Today was a good day. We had two medical situations. One gentleman who would have most likely died this week had we not convinced him to leave and come out of the hills and go to the hospital, and he finally was willing to do that, and the medics got him to the nearest emergency room to get the treatment that he needed. Progress still continues. We had a couple of mudslides still that blocked the roads that had been cleared. Trees fell. Trees continue to fall, and they haven't had rain here in probably 2 weeks. There was one heavy rain probably a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, somewhere around there. So one of the things I wanted to point out, we have folks coming in with trailers and lots of equipment, and they have skills to offer, everything from chainsaw crews to construction to medical, communications. Just had a crew today of about 15 from California. We've had folks from Texas. We've had volunteers from Connecticut, students from the University of Virginia, East Tennessee State University, a doctor and a nurse that graduated in West Virginia, and on and on and on. Folks are giving up a week of their life to come here and volunteer. High energy, no complaints about the duties they get when they get here. Anyone that's planning to come into a disaster area, you have to register. You have to register over here at the Emergency Operations Center, the EOC. And some folks, when you register, you have to fill out it's like an application. It's on information on you as an individual. There's multiple purposes for this, but one of the biggest things is if you're going to operate in the disaster area, and if you go off on your own into these areas and there's a mudslide or a tree falls and you're injured, if you haven't registered, we don't know who you are or where you are to help you. If you register and fill out the form, which you have to do to operate in this area, we send you out to areas that's needing work, and if you don't come back at the end of the day, we know where to come find you. All right. We had a couple in here over the weekend that said they were search and rescue trained, and they had 2 yachts on their vehicle that were purchased at Walmart, which kind of immediately blew their whole search and rescue skills. You're not going to get in this water with the debris and rocks in a $150 yacht. So we had to ask him to leave. It's not that we don't appreciate you wanting to volunteer or wanting to help. It's a simple fact of it's dangerous in these areas, and we need to know who you are, and then send you to work areas where we can find you. It's that simple. We had a well-known organization come in Sunday. They toured our area. We showed them, spent 3 or 4 hours with them, and they told us that they had been in North Carolina and Tennessee, and we had the best operating emergency ops center that they had come across. They showed up today with trailers full of heavy equipment and gear that we could have used for some of the tasks that still need to be accomplished, but they refused to fill out an application and didn't want to follow the rules, and they had to be asked to leave. And it's not that we didn't want them here, it's not that we couldn't use them. It's a simple rule. If you come into the disaster area, you have to register so that we can track you, know where you're working, and come help you if you have an emergency. And it was too bad. It was a good group from a good organization, and it was just too bad that things didn't work out. So that's kind of how it works, right? And things are progressing along. Our relationship with the people in the hills who were trying to help are finally starting to come out of the hills down to the supply store and get supplies, dish detergents, laundry detergents, clothes, boots, hats, gloves, coats, food, heaters, propane, blankets, sleeping bags, tools, things that people have been very generous to donate to here and so many other locations where this disaster has hit. A lot of the discussion of people coming into here that's been to the other areas are telling us the other small communities like the one we're helping here, that no one's in there helping them. And that's everyone's focusing on the larger populated areas, which is fine, but these small communities, they need help and support as well. So if you decide you want to volunteer a few days into one of these areas, I would consider finding one that's like the one here that we're helping to go in and provide support to. It's not easy work. These folks coming in are working on average 10, 12, 15 hours a day, and it's much needed help, but we much appreciate it as well. They're doing, some of them are over-skilled for tasks that we have them doing, but they don't complain and they just do it. So warm bodies doing tasks is helping us push the ball down the field. So with that said, let's go ahead and I'll go ahead and start going into the videos. Such a beautiful view overlooking the lake this early Saturday morning. You can see the fog lifting, the water is calm, it's a brisk, Cold morning, and you wonder how many folks are still in those hills, cold, without shelter and without food, sometimes by choice. The trees are turning gold as we come to the end of October soon, but it's another day, more task, boots on the ground, happy hearts, and moving forward to help build sustainability here in southeast Tennessee. We're doing our best as fast as we can with what we got, and things are moving forward. Have a great day.
So that stayed, and the chair and the table with his graduation finished.
So is he
Those two rocks there were the rocks that he got baptized next to. All the others are gone. Those two are still there.
So he was baptized there.
Yeah.
So is the grandson buried right here?
No, I think this is just a memorial.
Memorial?
We haven't been able to talk that deeply.
Yeah.
But this was the steps coming up with gardens.
Yeah.
Everything.
Wow.
So, you know, he saw this happening because he was over here and he had a Corvette inside that garage, and he didn't want to leave his Corvette, and he said the water was coming big time and it was sort of coming in surges, but he didn't ever think that it would rise high enough, and then the logs started hitting the bridge and they started to dam up. He said, and then the water started rising quickly. And he went and he had a shotgun inside that garage where his Corvette was. He went in to grab it, and they described something that sounded like a huge locomotive train coming. And he grabbed the stuff and he ran up the bank. And he said he couldn't turn around to watch because then his house was gone and his Corvette was gone. That Buick was further up and stayed. The red Buick was down the bottom and he was using that for spares, but it got mangled up there in the trees, likewise with that truck.
So how high did the water get up there?
I'll come up and show you. You can see where the water line ran.
So imagine from where you're at looking straight across that was
But
the water
had
level.
lawns. This used to be all just lawns, right? And the lawns would go right the way down to the river edge. You could do a bit of fly fishing and sit out here. Beautiful, beautiful place.
Living the dream.
So there's a little bit of grass left, but so we came in here the other day and we helped him to cut all these logs up and get these trees down. You know, particularly here we wanted to help him, which where this memorial garden was.
House is buried underneath the bottom of the creek. Yeah, just before the pulpit. Huh. I actually tried to find.
Smell the mustiness still in here.
Yeah. I actually tried to find some documentation as to when this church was actually built. But I was never able to. Yeah, you can feel the floors soft.
Yeah, it's still drying out.
Mm-hmm.
Something pushed up through.
this guy's done here.
So there was
Ask him because we need to do a medical run.
there was 2 slides though, right? The first one, and then it slid more.
Yep.
You can see out in the distance the utility truck continuing to press forward on these 1-lane roads, trying to get power into these folks. Yep, you take this disaster away. This is absolutely beautiful country in here. So this is the new temporary fire department, since the fire department was washed away in the disaster. And they have a truck here. It was donated, a pumper, and all the gear and boots that folks are sending in that was donated. And this was a mechanic's garage. They cleared everything out week before last and last week, and they have their search and rescue boats back there. So things are starting to come together. Not perfect, but there's a lot of ingenuity and willpower going in from this community to get things back to where it needs to be so they can serve the community. Got lots of fire suits in the back that are being donated and shipped in.
Water level was rising and rising and rising, getting quicker and quicker. All of these trees started to form a beaver dam across here. So what happened was that the water started rising into the property that's just around the corner from here. And when the next bridge that we go to, let's wait for him. So what had happened was these logs had all started building up on this bridge, and it had formed like a big beaver dam. The next bridge around the corner, the same thing had happened. And then about 2 miles upstream from that, at about an elevation of about 1,000 feet plus higher up, a mud dam burst, and that released a flash flood. So this was sort of coming in waves, the way it was, you know, rising and rising, according to the 2 gentlemen, one here and one on the other side, that I witnessed it. And then that mud dam had obviously a flash flood effect, and that accumulation smashed open the beaver dam back there, but it took off half the bridge and it took away all of the fill behind the bridge. It probably threw the concrete, we'll see when I stop down there, maybe about 350, 400 yards down the river. But when it got here, it would have been traveling with such ferocious force that around the corner there are still concrete pillars. Look where they got thrown. So if you stand, you look over there, you see way down there. That's where it got blasted to down there. But when you look at the sheer size of the root structures and how all of these things had, knitted in together, it was the perfect flood. Yeah. For lack of a better expression, there would have been no better way to try and destroy it with a flood than that.
Wow.
So before the outside could get in to come to help, once this bridge here was taken out, the locals came in and they took a trailer. This is one of the areas. They took a trailer and put it across and made a makeshift bridge that allowed the people to get out on one side and across back over. And just incredible ingenuity under high stress after massive damage. This is just incredible. It's like a massive beaver dam. It's such a beautiful area. It's absolutely gorgeous through here. Other than the destruction, the leaves in the last week have really started to turn golden. It's beautiful.
What road are we on now?
This is crazy. 3 more weeks. So Miss Lucy asked me if I had enough food. I've been down here 5 days, I think, and I'm good to go. And always for unknown expectations upon getting here this trip, originally the first trip, when the plan was bear base, sleeping in a tent, and fortunately a local that owns a B&B offered us 30 days staying in it. But so I told her, Miss Lucy, I had plenty of food, so I packed this 5-gallon bucket full of additional food to keep for the unknown. And last night I had aftershock, dehydrated beef and mushrooms that had a little bit of pasta in it. It was very good. So here's an example, kind of what I have in the bucket. Some Nature's Pantry Foods goulash. I have some aftershock cowboy soup, whole powdered eggs, freeze-dried bananas, cheeseburger skillet. Then I always have some sausage gravy. It's like going without your underclothes and boots and socks. Then I have access to some sausage gravy. Some tuna, some chicken, Vienna sausage bites, trail mix, Slim Jims, and some Spam single slices, good for protein. And for a treat, there's some oatmeal cakes if I desire to have one, which I've had one in 5 days. So the nice thing is it keeps, no matter where I'm at, I have the ability with the stove I have packed. I can heat up water, mix the dehydrated meal for 10-15 minutes, and I can have the meal that I choose to have in the conditions. And after a cold day outside, mornings and nights when the sun's coming up and going down, something hot is kind of a morale booster. And it takes limited space to have all this in a 5-gallon bucket. Put a lid on it and you have it if you need it. This little device right here, these little pucks, instead of having to take up more space, with like hand towels. You can take these little pucks and drop them in water. It soaks them, but these expand to the size of a hand towel. So for sanitation purposes, you can wash your hands and your face if you have soap, which you should. You can soap up good. Take a second one of these and use it to wipe the soap off. It helps even better if you have warm water. Then it's more of a comfort in these cold temperatures. So Miss Lucy, I have plenty of food. I'm in good shape, and thanks for asking. And for those of you, when you take off on road trips or camping trips or wherever you're going, have some form of an emergency bucket. Should have a prep bag to take care of you. You should have a first aid bag with first aid needs, tourniquet, at least one for you and a second one in case you come up on emergency for someone that needs a tourniquet. You don't want to use your own. And all this is right here in one 5-gallon bucket. So give it some thought and make sure you're always prepared for the unknown. So that's it. Good eating. Okay, so I shared some more of the destruction around the areas from different angles, and some of them have descriptions with them, and some of them are pretty self-descriptive. With all the devastation and destruction around here, it seems like every day there is an uplifting story to go along with things. And I'm sure if all the stories could be heard and shared, there's enough for a movie or a really thick book to read. It's just remarkable how these folks have persevered through so much unbelievable how this disaster came about, as far as the amount of water that surged in multiple surges from 1,000 to 1,500 feet above this community, and just trees, houses, logs, cars, trucks were basically torpedoes in the water trying to find a target. And on the scale that it happened is what is hard to grasp, but it did. And now everyone here, like in other communities, we're simply trying to achieve a level of self-sustainability in recovery, resources support, and moral support psychologically, that the people are here for the long haul until they can stand on their own feet. So if you have any comments, leave them below. If you have a question, you can leave it below, or you can email me at preparedness101@protonmail.com, and I will get back to you as soon as I possibly can. And again, if you want to donate, email me and I will tell you how you can do so. If you like this video, hit like, and if you haven't subscribed to our channel, hit subscribe, and we appreciate it much. And we are a preparedness channel outside of this disaster, and our goal is to help every family and home achieve a level of self-sustainability for your own personal insurance policy when these type of events occur. Whether you lose your job, you have a car wreck, you're sick and can't work, or there's a natural or man-made disaster that occurs that changes your day-to-day function in life. And that is our goal. So till next time, please keep praying for all of us down here and these people. and thank you for your kindness as well. Don't forget to count your blessings, and most importantly, don't forget to give thanks. Bravo Echo out.